I'm a woman.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Okay. So do you just fuck anybody then?
I'm a female, and I don't feel like I need to have an emotional connection with a person.
But
when
do
I'm
you
intimate
just fuck
with them.
anybody though? Is my question.
I don't need an emotional connection for that.
That means you're popping pussy.
Oh, why you have to put it like that?
Then I do not consider them to be a high value woman or a high value man.
I agree. I don't think one is better than another. They're both bad, so they should both treat it badly, you know? It doesn't matter which one you do, you're still in wrong. So I think they both should be blamed in that situation.
Okay.
I think we're good with the lag here as well.
So, anyone else wants to do
Good
input?
now? Okay. Yeah, guys, I don't know what it is, man. Our internet's fine. It's
weird.
StreamYard, bro.
Yeah,
it's 100%
must
StreamYard because
StreamYard.
our internet is we're getting like 700 up, and then what for down like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Count 2 times?
Yeah.
This is a Bible verse here. Mark 10:12. KGV says, "And if a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committeth adultery." That is true.
All right.
Ice 513. Can you ask the girls if their son came to them and told them that their girl said, "If you get a paternity test, I'm leaving you," what would be their advice to their son? That's a good one.
Wait.
Like if she got
So
pregnant.
he's saying if your son's girl came to him and said, "Hey, you know what? I don't think your test. I'm gonna leave you if you ask me to do a test." What would you say to your son?
Fuck
Girl,
that.
you
Why?
finna be single. What the hell?
Let's start here.
Wait, I'm sorry. You can ask the girl this time.
So your son is gonna tell his girl. No, actually, well, hold on. If your son was in this issue where like he told her you need a paternity test, but he said I'm gonna leave you, what would you do?
Nigga.
Nigga.
Yeah, like be for real. Like you just you just put yourself in the fucking hole. Like, oh, I'm gonna leave you because a secure man don't give a shit. Like realistically, if you know you got nothing to hide, like what is you scared for? Like you only doing the most if you have something to hide in the first place. You're just taking that extra step and be like, oh, you don't trust me. That's where the manipulation and toxicity comes in. You don't trust me. Like you think that like I was like bullshit basically.
Okay.
Yeah, he gotta leave because that's not his son. Like, why she's scared of like him taking the paternity test? Like that, she
That's
a hoe.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you say something like that, like, aren't you kind of like proving that you already did something wrong? Like, you wouldn't say it otherwise, you know?
So you wouldn't have a problem with it yourself.
Me, I wouldn't ask that. I mean,
But let's say your boyfriend asked you to do it.
Yeah.
Would you have a problem with it?
What if?
no.
No?
You
No.
sure?
So you sound kind of worried.
No, you sound nervous.
Okay. What about you?
I wouldn't have an issue taking a
She'd be
paternity
like,
test.
Forget about it.
You would?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I would take it and then I'd be like, told you it's your
No,
kid.
huh?
Yeah.
What would you tell your son? Though?
Your
Would you tell him
son,
to stay?
his girls,
Yeah.
telling him,
Yeah.
if you ask me that, I'm going to leave.
Oh, well, bye. Have fun raising the kid by yourself.
All right. So
Okay.
okay.
No.
For you?
Turn into Goku.
I would take the paternity test.
No, but what would you tell your son in this scenario that his girl gave him the ultimatum? Like, if you take if I take the paternity test, I'm leaving you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
What about you? Leave.
Leave.
Damn. Okay. Are the rest of you guys say agree? Leave.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't
Okay.
think so.
You don't think you should leave? Okay.
I think
why?
a relationship is
To the mic.
more.
To the mic.
I think a relationship is about emotions and a bond and a connection. And if the girl really feels like the guy is for him, in this case, my son, and their relationship is above and beyond of who had sex with who and who is the real father of the kid, biological father, then I believe that it should be like that.
So you think
If
that
my-
he should be willing to take care of somebody else's kid, possibly?
Yes, I do
Oh,
think
wow.
that.
No.
That
Because
What age range are we speaking here?
like a grown man taking care of another grown man's
No.
kid, possibly.
Like, are we
Just
talking
because he
about
loves
like?
this woman.
Are we talking about like in our like
And she was
early
infant.
adulthood, like early 20s, or are you talking about like later in life when you're settled?
I don't care really about the age range. I think that it doesn't really.
So you would stay
Like
with your man
to-
if he cheated?
Yes, I would.
Why?
Okay.
Because our connection is an emotional bond, and it's not really about whether who he
So
sleeps with.
are you okay with your man being emotionally connected to you and he's telling you all this great shit like, I love you, I'll never leave you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but he's telling another bitch the same script? Because then
If it's a script, if I feel like it's personal to me,
how
if I
what
feel
makes it
like-
personal to you? Like he said he likes your eyes or something?
Maybe if he
So-
likes the way I think, if he likes the way
Not
just my
genuine.
mind works.
But
then I
you
feel
wanna know
it's
what's crazy,
beautiful and
though?
That's
personal.
crazy.
You know what's crazy? Pimps say the same shit to bro. Everyone knows how to get into a woman's head. Like,
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? That's
Not
how.
everyone, but
Not everyone.
I see what you,
Well,
I see what you
Well,
mean
you know what I
there.
mean.
Majority.
Like,
Yeah.
guys so commonly know what girls want. They want that emotional security. They want to know, like, oh, you're always gonna be here for me, and you're gonna be here when I have a shoulder to cry on. Like,
Yo,
anybody can do that shit.
Yo, who hurt you?
Right.
Holy shit!
Another thing is we
Yo,
recognize.
do it.
Hey, spit
Well,
facts,
I mean,
man.
hold on. We just glossed over something really important. So, okay, just so I make sure I understand this correct. You're okay with your potential daughter-in-law cheating on your son?
Yes, I am. If I really do believe that their
least she's
connection and their
consistent.
relationship
Okay.
is more than
Oh.
that.
Okay.
If they've been together for years, for
Oh.
example.
Wait,
What if? Okay, so in this instance, right? So
That's not
clearly, if the son is saying, "I want you to take a paternity test," it clearly matters to him that he is the father of the child, which is why he's willing to risk the relationship to
That's
ask it.
true.
Would you still have that same mindset, like, "Hey, you should still raise that kid even though it's not yours"?
Yes, I would still say that to my son because I would
Well,
think that
okay. What,
he would also need a
makes you
second
hold on,
look on
let's
that.
not attack her. What makes you think that that's like the solution to the situation is to accept infidelity, accept raising a child, which is a big responsibility, by the way, that you're on the hook for financially, emotionally, etc. What makes you think that? Like, where does that mindset come from?
if my son, for example, has always dreamt of raising a kid with the perfect partner,
She ain't perfect.
That's subjective. That's subjective.
maybe not
Let's let
every
her-
other
To
relationship.
you,
Let's
she's
let
not
her. Let's let her
perfect.
fully
Yeah, all right.
speak and get her thought out. Please go ahead.
Come on.
And maybe the girl is really more to him, and maybe I see that the relationship is more than that, and he should take into consideration that maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it to raise another man's child.
I think what she means is, sorry if I cut you off. I think what she means is she doesn't believe in like physical cheating, but she believes in emotional cheating. So if you're emotionally only connected to one person, but you're physically with others, I think that's what she's okay with.
Well,
So-
no, she just kind of covered that. She
Well,
said,
well, hold on, hold
yeah,
on.
still.
Are you? Does it matter to you if it's physical or emotional or no?
I mean, yes, it does. And relationships can be both monogamous and not.
Okay.
And I would
but
also,
do you care that it's emotion? Like,
in the case, I believe that the question just, assumed that the relationship between them was monogamous.
yeah.
And in that case, also, I do feel like my son should really consider taking a paternity test
So
and staying with the woman. And I would give him
regardless
that
of if
advice.
the child's his or not.
Yes.
So let me ask you this: you said that emotional cheating is worse, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's go a step further. Wouldn't it be fair to say that for a woman to cheat on her man, she needs to be emotionally invested in the other individual to a significant degree?
Yes.
Okay. So wouldn't that be one of the highest forms of treachery and betrayal? When we know that for men it's just strictly physical, but for women they need a physical component and an emotional component, which kind of contradicts what you said.
How does it contradict what I said?
Because you're saying that in one end you're saying, yeah, emotional cheating is not acceptable. But what I'm arguing is that when women cheat, it must be emotional to a significant degree because women are emotional lovers more generally than men are. So for a woman, let me make it simple. The threshold for a woman to cheat, right, requires emotional investment. Versus for men, we don't need emotional investment. Oh, is she hot? I'll do it. For women, they need cognitive stimulation. They need emotional stimulation. They need to feel a certain way. So that's why cheating for women has been generally unacceptable for, since the beginning of time. Because for women, it's harder for them to cheat than it is for men in general.
Maybe I just don't really agree with that. I see sex as separate to what emotions are to both genders. And I don't think it just applies to men.
But for women in general, emotions always tie into sex.
Not always. I'm a woman.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Okay. So do you just fuck anybody then?
I'm a female and I don't feel like I need to have an emotional connection with a person.
But
when
do
I'm
you
intimate
just fuck
with them.
anybody though, is my question.
I don't need an emotional connection for that.
That means you're popping pussy.
Oh,
Why you have to put it like
that?
that?
No,
Sorry.
Don't try to
Okay.
devalue her as a woman though. Like
Alright.
if she wants to do that,
It's not
that's
devaluing. It's like you could probably pussy for your husband. Like that's just this is slang term.
Well, let me
That's
ask.
all it
Let me
is.
ask this then. Okay, so you're okay with just having casual sex then? Okay. What about the rest of the women on the panel? Do you need some type of emotional investment before you have sex with a guy in general?
Yes, definitely.
Can we get a raise of hands just to show? Okay, so that's a majority of women. So you might be an outlier. You might not need it. But what I'm saying in general is that the reason why cheating for women is generally unacceptable is because it takes more of a threshold for a woman to have sex
That's facts.
in general.
You should be
Yeah.
married if you do that.
I
Wait,
just my
wait,
opinion.
who?
Take it a step further.
My
You know?
Wait for sex?
Yeah.
I
Well,
respect that. I'm so horny that I couldn't wait for like till marriage,
yeah.
bro.
But there's different thresholds for different women. But I think the bottom line here is that women need an emotional connection in general to have sex. So since they need an emotional connection, for a woman to cheat on a man is a higher form of treachery than for a man to cheat on a woman. Because for men, it's physical. For women in general, it's emotional and physical.
Well, we can tell from her prior answers about the question about her dating status. I mean, she's okay with not even seeing homeboy and being in love.
Wait, but Fresh.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. That's actually
It's
a good point.
emotional.
Thank you. Thank you, Fresh. You're in a relationship right now where there's no physical contact, but you're emotionally invested.
Ooh.
So
Like I've never been before.
but does that not prove my point that women need emotional stimulation to be aroused by an individual to some degree?
On
I
some
mean,
level.
even though
Gotcha,
you're
bitch.
saying on one end, right? Okay, I can just do it physical. Right now, you're in a non-physical situation and still highly interested in this male.
Yeah.
I am
Ooh.
highly
That
interested in
speaks
this male.
volumes.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's just a case that you described for a guy. Like I can love a guy, just emotional. It's just purely emotional.
But
I would marry
that's
him.
a female trait, is what I'm trying to say. Men don't love the way that you do. That's
No,
that's a
that's your
feminine
main chick.
characteristic.
That's your main chick that you love, you know, and your side chicks that you just kind of don't
But
care about.
they would never be a main chick if I was just talking to them emotionally, over having conversation. Like the guy, I'll give you. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. The guy Tunesh is probably fucking other girls.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
let me
is.
just keep it a million with you.
Yeah.
He's probably having sex with other girls because men don't get the same fulfillment from emotional stimulation that women do. For you, you can go ahead and be sexless and be like, you know what? Maybe I'll just finger myself to you or something like that, because the cognitive stimulation is enough for you. For women, for him, he's gonna still need some type of. He needs to bust his nut physically somehow. So since you're not there to fulfill that, he's probably getting it done either through porn or through other women.
I'm actually comfortable with that,
And that's fine, but you're missing
and
my
I know
point.
he would also be.
But you're missing my point.
No, he's-
that,
Of course he would.
Yeah. for you.
you're missing my point that you are
Yeah.
able to be fully fulfilled through just emotional stimulation while he needs physical stimulation.
Facts.
No, I don't see that actually. I see it as equal, both
No.
me and my partner.
You don't
and
see
with
that,
every
but
person.
he's back home decking off someplace, you
Or
know.
having sex with another girl.
Yeah, or that too.
Sure.
Yeah, so
why you guys got to put all that negativity on her man?
wait, wait, wait,
Like
and-
maybe
and-
he's really
yeah.
loyal and he's holding
then
it
earlier
down.
you said you didn't fuck a guy for a month, right? And
Yeah.
you're horny as fuck all the time. So which one was it? Like,
No, that was like a while back when I was a virgin.
okay, well,
Yeah, I was just waiting for the one.
Beyond that, going back to the question, I feel like
merch.
you're sorry. I
okay.
think that because your son did not sign up to make that commitment, hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, because he's asking for the paternity
Yeah,
test.
I mean it's a commitment. It is a big thing to have a kid. Yeah, maybe he wants a kid, but did he want a kid then? Were they trying for a kid? You don't know. You know what I mean? Like in that situation, if he's asking for a paternity test, you would hope that it would be because maybe he had some sort of strange feeling or things have been off. So regardless, he did not commit possibly to having that kid. And I feel like nobody should be put in that position.
And kind of like literally branching off of the conversation that we were having earlier of a high value man, a woman's common agreement of like a high value man is someone who like holds himself a certain way, acts a certain way. Like obviously there's like, you know, these standards for a high value man. So like my question to you is, what do you kind of consider your man to be high value? Because for me, this is not shaming you, keep in mind, this is kind of what I'm seeing is like, I feel like for
March.
you within your relationships, you don't value respect to be one of your standards. Because me personally, if a man thinks it's okay if we made an agreement, like, yeah, this is what we are, we're together, we're exclusive, this, that, and the third. If he thinks that it's cute to go and fuck other bitches because he wants to satisfy himself, that's disrespecting me. That's disrespecting my wishes. That's disrespecting me as a woman because I'm holding myself to a certain stance of I am not going to cheat. I'm not going to do this, that, and a third with other people. So I expect it from you. And I guess that's kind of like what you were saying, like, oh, if he goes in like has sex with other girls, that's fine if I, because I can go having sex with other guys. So is that kind of your way of saying like your relationship is basically like an open relationship?
No, you just have different moral standards for your partners, probably. If my partner would be talking to other people, like he talks to me, he'd be on the
Is your guy
phone call.
Muslim?
No.
Is he Arab?
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Do you think, and let's be honest here, do you think if you guys were in a relationship and you got pregnant by another man that he would stick around?
Yes.
I'll answer it for you. The answer is no. I'm from that part of the world. The answer is a profound
Haram!
He would absolutely leave you in an instant.
But you
because
also
everyone
have
in his
multiple
family would make
girls.
fun of him. Everyone ridicule him. There'd be a shame on the family. He would absolutely leave you.
I believe that the relationship is really personal and intimate, and it's between two people and another. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You're from Holland. Holland's a very liberal country, very leftist, egalitarian, very equal. The part of the world that he's from isn't like that. So even if he might have some of these beliefs or whatever, the way he's raised, his cultural background, I mean, I'm from that part of the world. He's absolutely going to leave you because it's going to bring big
Maybe
shame to
his
him and
mom
his
wouldn't
last
let him
name.
do that.
So, what was that?
I said maybe his mom wouldn't let him do that.
No, his mom wouldn't even let him do it.
Yeah, like
she
the
would say,
question
"What the
says.
hell are you doing, Hamad? Like, what are you doing?"
That's why.
Which
But I
is
feel like-
in Arabic. But my thing, all I'm trying to say is that, and I've talked about this before, maybe a controversial take. If a girl cheats on you, it's over. The relationship no longer exists because men don't ask for much from women.
Yeah.
Sexual exclusivity is the number one thing that men require in a relationship from most women. And then on top of that, to raise another man's child is unacceptable because not only are you on the hook financially and emotionally, the woman can leave you and take the kid and you have no rights to the kid.
Also,
I mean, a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. Do you guys know why men hate hoes?
Why, Myron?
why do men hate hoes?
Why?
Because it's for this very situation. Not her. It's because
I mean,
a man's biggest fear. Well, you know what? Let me
No,
equate it so
don't.
that the women really understand. What is your deepest, darkest fear? You.
I can't say it.
Okay.
Let's
You know what? Let me
let's
go ahead.
Rumble.
Look at Rumble.
We can go anywhere.
All right. Go switch over to Rumble real quick, guys. We're
Guys.
going to go over to Rumble. I'll read the rest of the chats there
Let's go to Rumble.
because I'm going to give a functional equivalent
You can
here.
say it now though.
Yeah. Hold on. Go ahead. Come on over to Rumble, guys.
Come on over.
All right.
You can say it now.
So,
You good?
and I think I can speak for all the ladies at the table. Getting raped in an alley by a weirdo in a mask, maybe
Yeah,
some
yeah.
horror
That's
movie type
exactly
shit.
what I was gonna
Would
say.
that be
Like,
fair to say?
not even
Yeah.
just me, but my nieces, like the
Yeah.
young,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
girls
Fair
in my
enough.
family.
But I mean
that's
to you
just insane.
physically, to you. That probably
Yeah, to you.
would
Yeah.
be that, right? In an alley by some weirdo in a
Disgusting
Jason
acts.
masks, whatever, right?
Fucking weird.
Fair enough. And I would argue that's most women's fear in general, some serial killer shit. Cool. Every man's deepest fear, that's the functional equivalent, is raising a kid that they find out later on isn't theirs.
Yep.
But what
Just
if
like you.
find
Hold on, let that sink in. Let that sink in. Because women need to understand the same pain. Just like you don't want to get raped and killed in an alley by some dude in a fucking Jason mask
That's
on
facts.
Friday the 13th at midnight, right? What?
Yeah, no. Okay. Never
Shut
mind.
up, man. Right? Just like you don't want that to happen to you, right? A man doesn't want to raise a kid that he thought was his and finds out that kid isn't his. That's our biggest fear.
That's just a dumb fear, honestly, because there's like bigger things in the world, like
Excuse me?
dying.
I don't
think so.
You
Hold
can
on.
die. You can die, and you're worried about
Wait,
another
wait.
bitch having a kid on you.
Hold on. All I'm doing is giving you a functional equivalent. Would I say that you're stupid for being scared of a man that's bigger?
I didn't call you
stronger, and
dumb. I
can kill
said
you?
that's dumb, not you're dumb.
No, but that's
No.
dumb,
But you're saying
yeah.
no. But what I'm saying is that what if I said that your fear of a man that's stronger, more powerful than you, etc., killing you, and you can't do anything about it? Would that be? I'd sound ludicrous if I said that, right? Because that's a very rational fear
No,
for you.
you're entitled to your opinion.
Okay, no, it's not an opinion. It's a general fact. When a guy holds you down and rapes you and kills you, you can't do anything because he's physically superior to you. When a woman, has a child
Yeah.
and someone else inseminates her, and then she makes me raise that kid, and I'm on the hook to pay for that kid, I'm being raped because I can't do anything about it. Unlike you know the kid is yours. I don't know if the kid is mine.
That's fucked
Do you
up.
understand?
I don't
That's
think
the
that's the
functional
same
equivalent.
equivalence, but maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
if
hold on, hold on,
that's
hold
your
on.
biggest
Hold on,
fear,
hold on.
then sure.
No, that
Yeah,
is
I don't
most
think
men's
they're
biggest fear.
equivalent.
Because the thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a functional equivalent because men and women are not equal. We view the world differently. We have different viewpoints. We have different experiences. What's scary to me might not be scary to you. You're scared of men attacking and killing you. We aren't necessarily scared of that to that degree because I'm capable of defending myself. However, I'm not capable of defending myself against a vindictive woman that might have sex with another individual, and now I'm on the hook for raising that kid, and I did not know.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
You know,
So hold on.
Okay.
I need you to exercise a little bit of critical thinking and understand that men and women are not the same. I'm giving you an analogy so you understand. I had to give you the female equivalent so you feel the pain, so I can give you the male equivalent because we have different viewpoints.
That's fine, but she could raise her son to be such a noble man that regardless if his wife or whatever did cheat and he wanted to take the responsibility of raising that kid, that is a high value man to
He
me.
had no choice. Remember,
No,
remember.
you always have a choice. You always have a choice.
It's freedom
You
to live a
were held
relationship.
down, and things happen to
You
you.
know what?
right?
No.
You always have a
Stop.
choice.
Noble, right?
Yeah.
Do you have high standards in men?
Yeah.
What kind of guy do you want?
I want a man that can teach me things.
Okay. You want a man that makes more money than you?
It doesn't matter. I would hope so. I
Stronger
mean,
than you?
yeah.
You said teach you things, so more competent than you?
Yeah.
Okay. More status than you?
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Stop the cap.
You in theater.
Either way, you want a guy that's better than you in most metrics, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How about you be noble and go date the homeless guy downstairs?
I could.
Ooh.
That's not a problem.
But why
I
not?
could build him up.
Hold on. But why don't you do it though?
But you won't.
I don't have the time right now to do that.
Cool, and I don't have time to raise kids that aren't mine.
Hey.
That's a choice, exactly.
Come on, man.
It's a choice.
man.
But if you want to, it's
I'm
okay.
tired of this shit because women will sit there and shame you for having standards and certain parameters on female behavior, but you guys will never take that same stupid nobility that y'all talk about. A woman will say, be noble, raise a kid that's not yours, but you ain't dating no homeless guy.
And that's
You're
why
not
men
helping
and
out-
women are
Hold on,
different,
hold on,
like
hold
you
on, hold on.
said.
You're not helping out these fucking weirdos that are schizophrenic, that are weirdos that need to get sex. You're not helping out these school shooters that don't get laid. You're not helping out these motherfuckers out here that literally are virgins at 30 years old. You're not being noble and giving them some female attention, but you expect me to sit there and give my provisioning, my security, and all my capabilities that I work my ass off to some bitch that wants to be a hoe? Where's your nobility?
So
I
you
feel like-
mentioned choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said earlier, what was the choice? You getting held down, things happening to you. You have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Her lying to me and not telling me the truth, I don't have a choice either because I can't walk away if I don't know the truth. So there's no choice there at all.
Let's put it in this perspective.
We never tell
right?
women to be noble and look the other side and get with a guy that's lesser than them. We never tell women to be noble and go ahead and get with a guy that's less attractive or makes less money. No, we tell women, you deserve the world. But if a guy comes in and says, I don't want to marry a fucking hoe and I busted my ass to get to this point to have the standard, no, be noble, man up, raise that kid that isn't yours.
Step up.
Wife up that whore. Take her seriously. Give her a wedding ring, even though she made poor decisions in the past. No, fuck that shit.
That's
Just
fine.
like you are not going to settle with a loser, I'm not going to settle with a hoe. And I think it's perfectly acceptable for men to have standards as well. But we demonize male standards and shame them and tell them to be noble and accept female fuckery. No,
So
absolutely not.
here's the change of perspective though. Instead of using like the word like raped or whatever, let's use the word ripped. Okay. Why do men do that? Why do men do that to women? Like, why do men rape women? It literally is like a turn on for them. Like, they find pleasure out of it, obviously, because that's their strength. As a male, their strength is their physical strength, their mentality. Like, there are a lot of things that men have that women don't, and that they take advantage of it. That gets them off. Okay, so when you're like women be getting raped, they're ripped of their vulnerability because that's what women have. Like, think about it, like not vulnerability, but like women bear children. Men can fuck that up. They can fuck up their uterus, right? So you're taking away like the prize, quote unquote, prize of women bearing children. Men can bear children on their own. It's the same as women doing that to men, like making them raise their kid. They're literally put on this pedestal of, oh, now you have to be a fucking father, and you're like, okay, now I have to step out, I have to be a father. I have to change my career plans. I have to change what I'm doing with my life. I have to change where I put my money to. You're changing your entire life. Let's say we're talking about like mid-20s, right? So you have to change your entire life to surround your now woman, your now kid. Like, this is a huge responsibility. Like, this is a family that you're basically trying to build by your damn self because that's what you're expected of a man. So come like 3 years later, not even 3 months later,
That means
this little
land the
kid.
plane and finish the point. Is what
Land the plane.
that's what the sound effect is.
Okay, the kid isn't yours, so now all of that makes you worthy is stripped of you.
I
I'm
have a
fucking
note on
lost. I
that.
don't know what the fuck.
No. She basically what she's saying is
Okay.
she's agreeing with our point. It was a long-winded way about
Okay,
saying it, but
all
she's
right,
saying a woman loses her vulnerability, a man loses his resources, and both parties are being raped of their commodity. Is what she's trying to say.
But it still doesn't take away the choice, though. It still doesn't take away the choice. If you
Right.
want, you can leave her. If you want, you can help her with the kid.
Right.
No,
No,
what we're
wait,
trying to
wait,
say
wait.
is most of the time the guy doesn't know the kid is there.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you tell me the
That's what we're
truth, I can make a choice. If
Okay.
I don't know the truth, I can't. There's no fucking choice. I can't.
I mean,
No,
the-
you should
the-
tell
the-
the truth.
I'm
I
sorry.
agree with that.
No,
I
fuck
agree
it.
with
At the end of the day, a man doesn't bust his ass, right? Make money, right? To fucking pass on his legacy to a kid who's not his.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna die one day and have like, you know, shit going on for me. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, if my girl tells me, yo, this kid's not yours, then who the fuck am I gonna pass the shit on to? You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure as a man that this kid is mine, so he has the same ideals, the same values that I have, more or less.
But
So if
you
you're
can-
fucking around, let some random guy put his penis inside your vagina and squirt on that shit, you're allowing him to do that to you.
You were
But-
trying to say
but-
something? Go ahead.
Yes, the child gains their values based on how you raise them. So still, you would have influence on how the child would develop to be. Also, would your opinion change on that if the woman did get raped? If my son's girlfriend did get raped?
Be
Hold
honest
on,
since
hold
the
on,
beginning.
Hold on, ladies. The rape scenario was strictly to demonstrate how men feel when they raise a child that isn't theirs. I asked you what's your deepest fear. Most of you agreed, being sexually assaulted by a weirdo. Okay, a man's deepest fear, most of the time, is raising a kid that they thought was theirs and finding out it's not. That's the functional equivalent. That's all I illustrated that for. I think some ladies here on the panel understand. But I had to do that so you illustrate them, so you can feel the pain.
Yeah,
Right.
I understand your point. But
Yeah.
I was saying, what if my son's girlfriend did get raped and the truth was just too painful for her to ever tell him?
I mean,
Well, then she needs to tell him the truth.
tell the
Yeah.
truth.
In that case, that you know.
Someone probably kicked the
Oh,
switch.
it's back.
It's back.
It's back. It's back.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
Sorry about that, guys. Okay,
do
you were, saying,
live.
you were saying that what if the daughter got raped? That's where she's got to be honest. That's where I would say that's one exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But let's be honest here. Rapes account for only about 3%
Really?
of pregnancies.
I feel like that's very similar though to men taking in women that already have children. Because if you're over the age of 25, it's most likely that you have a child, whether you're a man or a female.
Okay.
So whether you go and date that person, you have to take the accountability of knowing this guy has a 6-year-old daughter or this girl has a 2-year-old son.
Fair.
So it's like, what's the difference
But
really?
we're talking about they're in a relationship. It was presumed to be monogamous. He says, yo, I want a paternity test. She says, I'm leaving. And she's saying, well, it's okay. You should accept the kid, even if it's not yours. And I'm arguing that's not in the man's best interest. That's not what men want. And I would argue that that's the functional equivalent to being raped, raising a kid that isn't yours.
Yeah. very
Because
much.
men and women are very different in how we view things. Now, what you said about raising a child going into a relationship, I tell guys all the time, don't take single mothers seriously. Like it's not in your best interest as a man. And when you look at it from a pragmatic standpoint, right? If you come in, you're responsible for taking care of that child. You're
Yep.
responsible for raising that child, protecting that child, provisioning for that child, etc. You have all the responsibility without any authority. I can't even slap that kid if he fucks
Yeah,
up.
facts.
It's not my kid. It's not my
No, the
kid. So
kid is
what does it look?
yours.
What is a responsibility without authority? It's
Yeah.
slavery. I'm responsible for this kid, but I can't even exert what I want on that child. Now I get what you're saying. No, it's not like that. But most women, if the child isn't yours and you come into the relationship and
Yeah.
you smack that kid for being an idiot, she's gonna say, "Don't hit my kid," and I can't discipline the kid the way that I want. And that's a problem because I'm responsible for the kid, but I can't even raise them the way that I want.
Bro.
So
No,
it's
as-
slavery. So I tell guys, it's not in your best interest to raise a child that isn't yours.
Well, and another thing is like I've read like statistics on that, and like I believe that it's most households where there's child abuse is a single parent household where another
Mhm.
parent has stepped in.
Yeah. not even the issues with that doesn't even account for all the issues with stepfathers, etc.
Well, that's including stepfathers.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And also, if the kid doesn't like you, he could say, "Mom, he hit me.
You ain't my dad,
Uncle. Chris hit me, Mom. You were home.
Damn right.
Hold on, you were trying to say something.
What? Shit.
You were trying to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I
Fuck them
believe
kids.
that a step parent would also exercise authority over the kid.
Assuming the original biological parent allows it.
Yes,
that-
and
does
they
that make
would
sense?
allow it if the relationship
No,
is truly.
But a lot of
Hold on,
women
hold on,
won't.
hold on. You say that, right? But have you ever dated a single mother?
I have friends that have. So
So I'll
As a
tell you this
guy.
right now, right? I don't know what you call it. Maybe call it motherly instinct. But whenever a child is with a different person that's not their parent,
Yeah.
instinctively the woman says, "You know what? This is my kid. I have to protect." They go into like flight mode.
Yeah.
So if the other person in any form of fashion wants to I want to say punch that kid, and it doesn't align with their values, instantly she's like, no, stop it. Don't touch my kid because that's her values. So I would just say, you say that now, but in the moment of it happening, she's gonna want to protect her kid at all costs.
Most
but that's the case in
women
every relationship.
that are
though.
with a stepfather are going to have an issue with that father disciplining the kid in certain ways. Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
It's an innate reaction. To,
I mean, ask the girls on the
parenting.
panel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure her stepfather can't do certain things that her biological
Yeah.
father can do.
100%.
You see?
Yeah, no,
100%.
he's
Like,
absolutely
that's
right.
an example
No.
right there.
Damn. 100%.
She belongs to the
And it's
street.
harmful.
Yeah, because imagine a bear and her cub. You think she's gonna let some random person touch her? No, it's just
Yeah.
motherly instincts.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
A bear would also protect the cub from the biological.
But no,
Mother.
but even more so, not the parent. Imagine that.
No, it's not even more so actually. A mother would protect their child or also their husband or the biological father of the kid. Probably.
She's taking your example literally.
Yeah. Shit.
No.
He made that example to
Bro.
illustrate that it's the mother bear tendencies to
Yeah.
protect the child at
Yes,
all
but
costs.
the example is ridiculous actually because it doesn't.
Oh shit, ridiculous.
I mean, because I could relate, like, my parents were divorced, but my dad had, like, I had a stepmom and she put her hands on me and my mom was not okay with that. She wanted to go to the cops and stuff. But I told her, like, at the time, I was only like 16. I was like, don't go to the cops because that's just going to be more drama for me, you know? Like, so my mom had to take that pain of knowing that her daughter was getting hit by, like, a stepmom. And my dad didn't care. My dad was like, you deserve to be hit, you know? So it's different.
Why did your mom hit you?
He was right.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, you got it from the opposite angle,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, like
which is
what?
a rare
Why?
situation.
This is rare.
But it's normally the other way around, and it's
Yeah.
the father that's because the thing is that the mother typically isn't supposed to be the disciplinarian. It's supposed to be the father's job. I've always said that fathers keep daughters off stripper poles and sons out of jail. It's the dad's job to discipline their child a lot of times. So when you bring in a stepfather, they're effectively stripped of one of their predominant roles as a
What
dad.
the fuck? What you doing, man?
Yeah.
Like twerking?
Yeah. For stepmom to slap you, what you doing, bro? You must have fucked up
For a single mom to hit your ass.
Yeah, like
what are you doing? Tell me. Skipping school.
What was it? I
smoking
did.
weed.
I invited like a boy over to
Fucking-
the
Oh,
house.
you deserve to have
Yeah, she's right.
That's not my mom though.
no,
That's not my
no,
mom.
yeah,
My
that's
dad has the okay to hit me, but not a woman that didn't push me out her vagina.
So
you feel
you-
me?
No, hold on.
No.
No, she made the right move because as a woman, she knows that your value is tied to your sexuality. So she was right to smack
But
your
see,
ass.
But I was a virgin
But
at
see,
the time.
That
so-
don't matter. It
Bro,
works.
how'd you know?
Nigga, hold on, stop. That you deserve to be slapped even more.
Oh, shit.
But no, she's right because guess what?
She was a virgin at the time.
That's not her mom though. So I get it on paper.
No, I'm saying she deserved to get
no,
slapped.
she,
Yeah,
she
facts,
did,
facts,
yeah,
facts,
but it's not her mom.
Yeah.
Facts.
So it's like,
Yeah.
yo, like you.
No, but
So now you
man.
guys pick and choose who gets to put hands on children?
No, that's
Yes.
the point.
Me.
Yes.
Hey, listen. You're a hoe, growing up, right? So your mom was like, yo, listen, you're a virgin, right? And you were finding boys over. Listen, I used to be a teacher. So it's like it starts from there, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't be out here inviting boys to your house and shit like that because your mom knew better. Because she was a hoe. Well, what's up, mom? She was a hoe back in the day. So she, you know what? Like, let me be like step up and and not make you be the person that she was. Correct?
Okay.
What if
Yeah,
the
I
dad's
think you kind of.
You guys have two different stances here. He's saying that the step parent isn't going to have the same authority to discipline the child from a physicality standpoint.
Yes.
Right. And then he's saying that your stepmother was right in disciplining you in a physicality standpoint because you were potentially going to have sex and lose your virginity, which would lower your value to a potential mate in the future.
Right.
That's why your stepmother acted in the way that she did, knowing that you're a virgin. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're potentially throwing your future away and you're hurting yourself. That's why she slapped you physically.
And also, put it in reverse. Imagine if...
Which I think was valid, by the way.
Imagine if it was the guy that hit her.
I had that question.
He'll go to jail.
Yeah.
Because he hit you. Yep. So it's just like, in that instance right there, any step parent could be liable for like getting in trouble just because they're a step parent, even though it's right because you're fucking up.
She was.
I think that overprotective parents create hoe children, though. Like I feel like
sneaky,
I came into my like, you know, I was doing crazy things because of how sheltered I was growing up.
There's a saying where like a pastor's daughter or son always ends up being the worst because they're too coddled and too sheltered. So they once they get outside, they're like, oh shit, I'm gonna go crazy. So you got a point there, but still,
I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree because I know people that have been raised like super conservatively and they've turned out amazing. And like,
I think that's just an excuse.
But generally, look at pastors' sons and daughters.
I mean, I know a pastor's daughter.
No, you know one, but generally, how they act.
They have kids.
It's one family.
That's a lot of kids.
Look at the general population of pastors' daughters and sons.
Listen, my mom raised me. My mom raised me, right, and she raised me as a single mom. And she was not. I was not raised like a pastor's daughter. I mean, you raised me well, but she exposed me to like some crazy stuff, and I turned out the complete opposite from her beliefs.
I mean, therapy at 10.
But I mean, I have very conservative beliefs in certain ways, and so you didn't raise me that way. You didn't raise me to believe in purity or any of these things. I actually just took it from observation of what was going on outside, and like, oh my gosh, I'm scared of what these kids are doing, and I don't want that life.
I would argue though that you have high critical thinking skills, so you were able to kind of be like, something's off here, and environment plays a role too, right? Like a lot of times when these people live in like with restrictive parents that don't let them do certain things, but all their friends are doing it. Then they want to do it. But if you're like in an Amish community and you don't know any better,
that's all you know,
right? You're like, hey, electricity, what is this? You know, you're just chilling, but you don't see nobody else with iPhones. You're gonna appreciate a little bit more. I mean, it's the whole thing with the Passport Bros is like, yo, you have a girl in Colombia, you ain't bringing her to the United States because feminism and all this other shit. They're gonna indoctrinate her, and she's gonna lose the values that made her attractive to you in the first place. I tell you, if you guys are gonna go foreign, you better stay your ass over there foreign.
All right.
Because the environment does play a role.
We got some chats here. And
yeah. Did anyone else have anything on this topic before?
I have one last thing, like keep it surface level.
Concise.
Yeah. When it comes to discipline, it also comes out of love. So you can't really look at your step parent like disciplining you as a sense of I'm just trying to like control you. That step parent is trying to earn your love and earn it through your parent, your biological parent as well. And if that biological parent sees that you don't give a fuck about what my child does, they lose their relationship and you already lose that stepfather.
I don't feel like you need to put your hands on a child to show them you love them. You know,
I'm not saying that at all. My parents never put their hands on me, but it's a sense of discipline.
I think kids need to be beat.
Yeah.
I genuinely think children need to be beat. And the reason why is because there's no better teacher of bad behavior than violence, unfortunately. And I mean, if you look at the civilized world that we're in right now, right? It's a monopoly of power. The military, the police, etc. You behave and follow laws because you know that there's physical consequences if you choose not to do so. I think parents need to be that monopoly of power and almost behave that way as if they're the police or military and get their children in line, because pain is one of the best reinforcements that you're fucking up, unfortunately.
I mean,
I hate to say
it's
that,
even in the Bible. You know, don't spray the rod.
I'm not saying beat the shit out of your kids and abuse them, but what I am saying is that sometimes they need to be smacked. Sometimes they need to know, hey, this is not acceptable. Voices need to be raised, etc. Yeah. And I mean, I was beat as a kid, and it taught me a lot. Like it kept me away from doing drugs. It kept me away from being an alcoholic, being a loser, doing any of this stupid shit.
Listen, bro, I'm from the Caribbean, bro.
Yeah,
you getting your ass beat.
Yes,
you messing up.
Yeah.
You hard head make for a soft ass. Grades. You getting your ass beat with a slipper, chocolata,
something. I think you know, just like the military and the police have the monopoly of power, the parents need to be the same. Because if your parents don't exercise being a monopoly of power on you early on, well, the police are going to do it for you, and then it's too late. Yeah. Now you got a criminal history. Yep. Now you're in jail. Now you're in and out. Now you can't get a real job, etc. Yep. If your father isn't that first front line of defense smacking the shit out of you, who's going to smack you next? A police officer.
Yep.
And then you're going to jail. And then there's no coming back from that. There's no criminal history record, no FBI number generated, rolling your fingerprint when your dad slaps you, but there definitely is one when the police get you.
No shit. Facts. Bars.
Okay.
All right,
we're 15 up.
Yep. Let's go.